Start with pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Heater in your jacket. Okay, we're going to start, before we start the regular meeting tonight, we are going to do public hearings. And the first public hearing is on approval of the water district budget. If you have anything that you would like to comment, please stand, state your name, and address the board. Anybody have a comment for the water district? Okay, we'll close the public hearing. Water district. Second public hearing is on the sewer district. And for the budget for the sewer district. Anybody like to address the board on that? Okay, we'll close the public hearing on the sewer district. Third one is the fire protection contract for Chazy and West Chazy. Public hearing. Anybody like to address the board on that? Budget and contracts. Okay, we'll close the public hearing. And the last one is the public hearing on the town budget. Okay, we'll close the public hearing on the town budget. So we'll call the regular meeting to order. Anybody like to make a motion to approve the minutes of the last meeting?
I will.
I'll second.
You're gonna hear that a lot tonight.
John Blank. Councilor West made a motion that the minutes for the 10/8/2013 regular town board meeting be approved as submitted by the town clerk, seconded by Councilor Devens. Roll call, Councilor West,
Yes.
Councilor Devens,
Yes.
Supervisor Spiegel,
Yes.
absent Councilor Dino.
Okay, at this time, we will open up the regular public comment session for anybody that would like to address the board. If anybody would like to address the board, please, again, state your name and address the board as a whole. Anybody? Okay, we will close the public comment session. Why don't we go around from you, Bill, this time?
Okay. Scott, per your request, I had prepared, I've got two local laws to hand out to the board members. The first one is to make a small amendment to the water code. Just to clarify, the one section, there was only one line in the water code, and staff felt it might be a little unclear as to responsibility for maintaining the water lines from the curb stop to the residents or commercial business. So we took some language from some other local laws and have just made it clear that, you know, it's the responsibility of the customer to maintain anything from the curb stop, which is the shut off to the curb.
There's a couple of people that have put the water line from the town to the curb stop. Does the town take responsibility of that even though they put it in themselves and paid for it themselves?
They have to come to the town board, it's my understanding, they have to write a letter to the town board asking for the town to take it over. But what we're talking about here is basically from the mains to their house. Any lines that are on private property, if the line breaks, if it freezes, if anything happens to that line, it's the owner's responsibility.
From the curb,
From the main, water main or curb to their house. Any lines on private property is their responsibility. We're responsible for the mains, anything, the mains.
once it's on private property,
Yes, and it's,
it's
you're
their,
right.
okay.
Yeah.
Because somebody, anyway, was questioning me on that today, and I didn't, so that's why I brought it up, so, okay,
Yeah.
on private property,
It's their responsibility.
Correct. I mean, even the meters, if the meter freezes because they left and they didn't turn the heat up enough and it freezes, we'll have to go repair it, but it's got the owner's responsibility. We will bill them for any repairs that need to be done. But
Okay,
as far as a water line breaking, if it breaks and it's on their property, they're the ones that have to dig it up and repair it.
So the next step in that, well, the next step in the process would be to set a public hearing.
Correct.
So if you wanted to make comments, I suppose at that point, that would be the time. But that would be the next step if, once the board feels it's ready to go forward to a public hearing.
May I ask a question?
Well, go ahead. I mean,
What happened to the original agreement when the water system was put in, where the town was responsible up to the house?
actually, the water code
The
looks,
original water agreement was that the town was responsible for the water and sewer line up to the house.
I
It
think
wasn't-
that's to bring it to the house. But I don't think
Initially
it's-
brought it to the house, but it's not, in the current water code, it's already stated that it's a responsibility of the owner.
just
Stobbs'
wanted to
point was just
clarify
to
it.
make it clearer, as well as giving the town the right to go and repair it in an emergency situation and invoice it back to the homeowner. But in the existing law, which the water code that you now have in place was adopted in 2001, it provided that they'd be responsible, but, the homeowner was responsible for the service lines and to protect it from freezing and maintain and repair the lines. But that's all it said. This is just trying to give a little more definition to it and make it clearer.
In other words, they changed it.
They might have, I don't know what
2000,
happened.
we didn't
prior-
change anything, we just.
No, from the original when the water
I-
system
that I
was
don't
put
know.
in.
Very well could be. I mean, this was the law was adopted, this particular law that we're looking to amend, it was adopted in 2001. What existed before, I don't know.
And I don't even remember what year the water and sewer was put in,
2000?
2000?
2001, yeah. Because I got on board in 2001.
Yeah, me
Just
too.
getting
It started.
done.
Brought it to the homeowners initially,
Yeah,
but then after that, it was
it's their
their responsibility.
responsibility, yeah.
That's the way I understood
Yeah,
it.
that's the way I always
And Leo has a proposed resolution if you decide you want to set the public hearing for your next.
Probably what we'll do is we'll read it over.
Yep.
Or come to the next meeting, make some comments, and then set the public hearing.
Okay. And then the other local law was something that's requested by, I believe, Tom Dashna, planning board, but it's, has to do with the town's telecommunications law and the siting of towers. And in that, he wanted to, one, there was a, notices for public hearings had to be at least 10 days. And he asked to modify that, amend it, so that it'd be only 5 days, which is consistent with the zoning that the town has, the zoning code. And then the other part he wanted to was also eliminate, there was a requirement that the applicant has to supply the names and addresses of property owners within 1,500 feet of the site. And at least, I think it was 3 weeks before. Anyway, he just feels that it's not necessary, so we're just eliminating that requirement because the town has the information anyway, who the property owners are through the assessor's office and whatnot. And that way, we are obtaining it and are certain of, that we're naming the right people and the right parties, rather than putting that, sort of that burden and also relying on the applicant to do it correctly. So, those are the two changes he's wanted, he is requesting, and they're in this proposed local law number 6 for 2013. And I'll leave you, Leo, the extra copy so you can get them to Jerry or other board members.
Is that it, Bill?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Kenny?
We're getting everything ready for the winter. All the trucks are harnessed, sanders are in, all ready to go. Finishing up our sand now, mixing the salt, putting in, building, putting up our plow marking posts. And getting ready next week, go around, start putting up our snow fences. And pretty much wait for snow, ready to go.
And the new sidewalks look good.
What should we get that finished finally?
Chazy one looks good.
Lot more
Good
next
job.
year.
Thank you. Yes, a lot more sidewalk done, which is good.
Yeah, next year we'll get a lot more done. Not hectic year because we've had John's been out for a little while now, so we've been only running 4 another crew. It's hard. Run 3 towns with four men. Yeah. But they've been good. The guys really been working hard.
Is there a way that, I mean, I just noticed the other day that maybe a couple times a year you could have somebody just go down the sidewalks and just blow them off? I noticed there's like sand, gravel on the sidewalks and just take a couple hours and just go through and blow whatever debris on the sidewalks off, just to,
We
Keep 'em clean.
Go through and wash them and everything in the spring, and, you know, clean them all up.
do we have a blowing machine that can do that, or no? Oh, we're talking spending money now, so. But anyway, I mean, I just noticed it the other day on some parts of the sidewalks, there was,
Yeah.
and it's because of the construction this year, going through in the main roads and,
Usually the homeowner, if it's right in front of their house, they're usually pretty decent, try to keep it clean, you know, it's in front of their house.
there's just some spots like underneath the bridge down here that I noticed the other day where it's, they had left, you know, when they were doing the road or whatever, but, you know, just to make sure that they're. Yep.
I was already, Joe, on this new paving that they put through the, whoever the contractor was, all this debris that they left, these piles of blacktop, and there's still some in front of the post office. And I'll pick it up tomorrow morning. They've left it there, and somebody kicked it off the sidewalk, it's right where people park in the front. And it's surprising somebody hasn't gotten hurt on it.
I don't know, Timmy, if you heard it, is the state gonna go back through and pick those piles up, or why did they
That's
just?
going through,
What's that?
They picked the big ones up, but
Yeah.
there's still some more down there. And it's right where a lot of people get out, they pull up in front of the post office,
Mhm.
and it's right there. So I'll pick it up tomorrow morning.
All right, well, we appreciate that.
There's somebody, it ticked me off.
Yeah.
That's it, everybody's happy up my area.
Okay, Kathy?
First, I'd like to say thank you to all the voters and to say that I'm looking forward to all the new people who'll be coming on our board. Looking forward to working with them. One concern that I did hear stop, and I think this is an appropriate place to bring it up, is someone who did go and vote in West Chazy, her ballot was rejected, and the individual who was overseeing everything actually took her ballot and looked at it and read who she voted for, turned it over. I thought that was illegal. I didn't think anybody had the right to, anybody who was working the polls, I didn't think they had the right to look at someone's ballot to see. I don't
think
know
they're
what
supposed
could be
to,
done
to
about
be
it.
honest, did it go through the second time? Did they have to turn it over to make it go through?
He
or-
told her to go and get another ballot and redo it. And when she went back the second time, it ejected again, and she took it herself and put it through again. That time it did go through, but
I think
very inappropriate
I should just ask the county voting,
what to do.
yeah, in that situation. I mean, maybe they need to train the people saying, if somebody comes in, their ballot doesn't go through, tell them that, you know, they can't look at it, they have to go get another ballot and fill it out again and then try again.
Yeah,
Some of those, when they put that 10 on the little
bleeds through.
circle, it bleeds
Mhm.
through and it confuses the computer, and that's
Mhm.
happened to a few of them. You know, it bleeds right through, so it's reading something that
It's
shouldn't
not
be
there.
there. I
But
think that's probably what
Maybe that's why
happened, but
Kathy
still.
won.
Pardon?
Maybe that's why Kathy won.
maybe she's going, no. But I just
I'll
want,
check with the county on that
Okay.
and see if they have a procedure that they need to teach the
okay,
people working.
okay. Just a couple of things. Have we resolved the issue at Arthur's?
Yep, I'm gonna tell you about that.
Okay, and probably going to be covering the sewer issue. Do we have any issues with sewer?
Yeah, we can talk about that.
Maybe we can talk about that, okay. I have nothing else.
Okay. I only have a few things tonight. While you're on that subject about the Arthurs, we did contact the Clinton County Highway Department, and they came out within a week. They fixed the problem, they paved over the spots that were low, and Mr. Arthur actually came back in and thanked us very much, and
They did a lot more than that.
He seemed very happy.
Redid the one.
I noticed that
They
over here.
redid those, and they did, that big corner after Dupree's on Winter Farm. That big
Yes.
hump, they took that out, we did that
Yes.
too, all at the same time.
Down on the Stetson Road, who did it there? Did they do it too, the county, or did we do
No,
that?
we did that.
You did that one?
Yep.
Yeah, thank you.
Continuing on also, I would like to congratulate all the new people that are gonna be coming on board. Gonna have a big change in the board, but I'm sure they'll do a fine job, and just wanna congratulate those that got elected, and look forward to seeing what they can bring to the town, and I'm sure they'll do about it very well. I did get just wanna real quick, although it doesn't affect us anymore, but a warning notification from Pfizer in Ross's Point stating that they were giving a 90-day advance notice for separation of 11 non-union colleagues and 26 union colleagues, with a separation date of January 25, 2014. So I just wanted to notify us that that's what's going on in Ross's Point. And that came from Wayne Reynolds. We got a notice from the Clinton County Administration that I guess every year the county clerk has an administration fee for collecting mortgage tax, and they're going to be increasing those administration fees by about $25,000 for next year, not just for Chazy, but for everybody overall. So they just wanted to let us know that their administration fees for collecting those mortgage taxes are going to be increasing. So. And that's for the whole county. It's going to be going up by about $25,000. I did get a request from Kelly Andrews. Kelly is the lady that handles our soccer program in the summertime for the youth. And they had a very successful year. She appreciated all our help with keeping the fields clean and equipment, etc. Tom did a great job, she said, with her, Tom Tatro. Mentioned to us that they're a little shy of space for all the equipment, that we have a little space in the barn down at the rec field, but it has all the soccer equipment in it and all the baseball equipment in it. Well, I know that the Chazy Lions Club takes up a part inside the barn, so I'm going to talk to the Lions Club about, it's just a lot of old stuff in there, and maybe we can get in there and clean that thing out and let them use that space. I mean, we very rarely use it now. It's just piled up with old signs and old equipment, and I think if we just go there and clean all that out, that we won't have to, build anything for them or get any kind of a storage space bought. I think we can help them with that situation, so I'll talk to the Lions Club about cleaning that space out and letting her use it. Dave Luke's truck is done. Remember we had the last meeting, we did a resolution to do it, done. Looks very good.
Good.
So all repair work is done on that. That's about all I have with updates as far as stuff from the last meeting. We're winding down to the end of the year. Overall, the budget, we did a good job on the budget. The budget had a decrease this year, which was very nice. There will be a small increase in taxes, very, very small, just due to mostly because of mortgages, or assessments going down a little bit, but overall the budget was a lot better than last year. So we're very happy about that, and I'm sure the residents will notice that. And we were way underneath the 1.66% cap. We were actually way under, which was a nice help this year. So I'd like to congratulate the board on a good job, especially Leo, who and Sue, who worked very, very hard on that, and go through line by line to see where expenses are and where we're going and where we can cut. And so good job. The budget looks really good this year. So we will move on to resolutions. Oh, Dave, sorry, one more thing. Dave wants to address the board about me.
Hello, everybody. I was asked to come in tonight just to go over and let everybody know about the status of the network and communications within the building. The board purchased new computers in 2006, and we're starting to notice maintenance issues are starting to pop up. software issues, slowness on the network. It's to the point where we look at it and say, well, we got 6-year-old computers, 7-year-old computers, do we want to throw money at that, or do we want to just go on to something new? So I'm making a recommendation that they purchased 3 new machines with a server, because everything was bought at the same time the last time. It's best to just put it in and do it again. I will migrate everything off the old machines onto the new machines, and the maintenance has been low over that time frame. It's just this year things have progressively gotten slower, and the reason being is that the town has a software program that manages the tax program as well as the RPS assessment management, and they are really memory hogs. They require a lot of data. There's also a town ArcGIS program, which is for a geographical data program, which requires a lot of space and a lot of resources. When we originally put these machines in, we built them for the original applications that were going on, plus a little room for growth. And we went through that a year and a half, 2 years ago, where we pretty much maxed our capabilities. So we stretched it out, and when I sat at the last meeting when we purchased those, to get 6-7 years out of a computer is really good. And you know, it's just time, instead of me going through each machine and picking out stuff that, you know, try to conserve here and there, especially with the price of computers now, there's so much versatility. We're still going to go with a Dell platform. With the latest, greatest software, they're still working on Office 2007 or 2003. And in order to communicate with the state properly, you have to have the latest Word document files and software, email program as well.
It's not gonna be supported anymore after.
Yeah, and actually the next thing is that all these machines are Windows XP, and Microsoft is discontinuing that product as of April. Support for it, it was discontinued years ago, but they discontinued it completely. So they're not releasing any more updates, which poses a security issue. So there's quite a few things that popped into play for this. The maintenance is going up, the system's slowing down because of the amount of data we have on the system now. So putting in new equipment with, again, I put a proposal together for the town to, it's an apple to apple. It's today's date computer, just like the one was in 2006, built for today's application plus some room for growth. So hopefully we can get the same kind of turnaround out of these machines. Unless, you know, barring any, the state comes out with some new software that requires a lot of space or memory, you know, that kind of thing. But we should be able to get the same amount of time frame out of the replacement computers. And moving into the new year with new board members and so forth, I thought it'd just be easier that you have all worked with me before for years, and get these kind of issues wiped out before new people come in and try to use the software and, you know, have issue, and get it all cleaned up at the end of the year when there's a little bit of a slowdown. And that way when new people come in, we're back to being fast and things are happening and maintenance will be low. That's pretty much it.
Thank you, Dave.
I provided a proposal to the town board,
You have a resolution.
and the last proposal, there's a $481 difference from the price I gave in 2006 to the price now, and I'm getting it 4 times the computer today that I could have given you then. So there's a big difference in the computing power of the machine, that the replacement, and it comes preloaded with the Office 2013 productivity software. So pretty much all I have to do is dump your personal data or the town data onto these machines, do some configuration with the VAS program, the iTax program, the accounting. We have a bunch of different vendors that do the accounting for the town, the town clerk tax program for the town, as well as the assessment program. And I work as a liaison between all those to make all these things work.
I'm sorry, I didn't ask you if you.
No, that's all right. Just a couple of things, Stav. Sales tax still continues to come in above projections. But one thing we brushed on last meeting, and Board of Elections with the chargebacks. We had a lengthy meeting yesterday, and it was Greg and Sue came in and spoke to us. And I don't know if I can do anything for this year, but I'm gonna either take your predecessor or some other supervisors and work on this issue. I did get some calls today from some other legislators that will either work with me to cap where we're at now, but after looking at the law, I'd like to try to back it up a little bit and go back to where we were in '05 or '06 or '07, because, you know, these chargebacks, to me, there's a lot of things that the county's passing on, you know, and the state's done it to us, you know, and in this sense, I think the county's doing the same thing. You know, some of my legislators agree with me, some of them don't, but it was a very, very good discussion, and everybody listened yesterday, and it's not gonna save any of us any money, but it's gonna put the bill where the bill should be, I think, and that was what I took from this meeting last time. I know when I sat in the board in Beatontown, when my legislator came and told me, I disagreed with him then, and disagreed with him last night too, so I think it makes for a good discussion, and no matter which way it ends up, I can tell you that Chazy was represented very well yesterday. So, but I will need some support at these meetings. So, other than that, you know, I did mention to Al Rascal about the road. I left a message with Timmy, and I hear that it's taken care of. So, you know, I think, and Timmy's got a great working relationship with Al Rascal. So, all he's got to do is pick up the phone and ask him, and it will be done. So, if you have any other questions of me, let me know. But I'll take care of whatever tasks come up. So.
All right, thank you very much for
Thank you.
working on our behalf, that's for sure.
Well, you know, and to again, you know, with what Kathy said, you know, congratulations to everybody that got elected. And one thing I will say was nice to read the paper. Whether the candidates won or lost, there was some very, very good letters. You know, it was all positive. Those are good things. So.
I have a question, that chargeback, what was the amount that we used? Was it like
$90-some for next year for the
That's
elections and for primaries.
And that's just for them to come and set up the machine?
And use the machines and to transfer the machines and to update the programs in the machines and pay the inspectors. That's the total charge.
And what did it cost us before?
Just the cost, well, we had those old machines and
So,
just for the labor for the people to be here, it was like $500-600 a year. So it's got way out of control.
thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to resolutions.
Okay, the first resolution you have, it's a resolution adopting the Chazy Fire Protection Contract for the Chazy District for 2014.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Motion has been made by Councilor Devon, seconded by Councilor West. Any further discussion? Roll call, Councilor West.
Yes.
Councilor Devon.
Yes.
Councilor Dino is absent. Supervisor Spiegel.
Yes.
Next one is for resolution adopting the fire protection contract for the West Chazy District.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Motion was made by Councilor Devon, seconded by Councilor West. Any further discussion? Roll call, Councilor West.
Yes.
Councilor Devon.
Yes.
Supervisor Spiegel.
Yes.
Absent. Councilor Dino. Next one is resolution adopting the annual town budget for 2014.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Okay, there were a few changes I have to.
Yes.
You'll notice on that resolution, there's a couple changes that had to be made. It doesn't really change anything from the preliminary, but they needed a little bit more money in one area, so they dealing with the sewer appropriations. So this resolution takes care of those changes, and it's adopted with these changes. Just so that you're aware. Okay, Councilor West made the motion, second by Councilor Devens. Any further discussion? Roll call, Councilor West,
Yes.
Councilor Devens,
Yes.
Supervisor Spiegel.
Yes.
Absent, Councilor Dino. Okay, 2013 year-end meeting, we
That's,
talking about December 23rd, but we don't have a time.
is December 23rd okay with everybody? It's only like a 20-minute, half an hour meeting just to do bills.
I probably can't do it until after 5.
Oh, after 5?
Mhm.
Okay. You want to do 5 o'clock or
I can do 5:15.
5:15?
Mhm.
All right, let's do
Oh,
that.
no, I can't, really. I have an appointment at 5:30 in Plattsburgh on that day.
Is there another day?
It's only going to be about what, how long?
Half an hour, 20 minutes maybe. It's just to do bills.
If I can be leaving here at 5 o'clock, I can do it at 4:30. I'll take time off from work.
Oh, yeah, we should be able to cruise through.
Okay,
So 4:30?
4:30.
4:30?
4:30? For the year, the resolution is for the year-end meeting at 4:30 on Monday, December 23rd.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Councilor West made the motion, second by Councilor Devens. Roll call, Councilor West,
Yes.
Councilor Devens,
Yes.
Supervisor Spiegel,
Yes.
absent, Councilor Eno. Next one is Board of Assessment Review, appointment of Stephen Lapierre. It's actually a reappointment to the, Board of Assessment Review, bar.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
So he's already serving on this committee.
Correct. And he's agreed to do it again for the next term.
Motion made by Councilor Devens, second by Councilor West. Roll call, Councilor West,
Yes.
Councilor Devens,
Yes.
Supervisor Spiegel,
Yes.
absent, Councilor Dino. Next one is a maintenance agreement for 2014 with telephone maintenance.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Councilor Devens made the motion, second by Councilor West, for maintenance contract, which would be $1,700 for the year 2014. Any further discussion? Roll call, Councilor West,
Yes.
Councilor Devens,
Yes.
Supervisor Spiegel,
Yes.
absent, Councilor Dino. Next one would be a resolution authorizing the use of general equipment type capital reserve funds subject to permissive referendum to purchase computer replacements.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Councilor Devens made the motion, second by Councilor West. Any further discussion on this?
This is to replace those older ones, what we just discussed, is that the deal?
Correct.
The same company that's doing the maintenance is the same company we're buying it from.
Right. Right.
Okay, roll call, Councilor West,
Yes.
Councilor Devens,
Yes.
Supervisor Spiegel,
Yes.
absent, Councilor Dino. Next one is 2013 Highway Fund Budget Modification.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Councilor Devens made the motion, second by Councilor West. Any further discussion? Roll call, Councilor West,
Yes.
Councilor Devens,
Yes.
Supervisor Spiegel,
Yes.
absent, Councilor Dino. Next one is budget transfers.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Motion made by Counselor Devlin, second by Counselor West. Any further discussion? Roll call, Counselor West.
Yes.
Counselor Devlin.
Yes.
Supervisor Spiegel.
Yes.
Absent, Counselor Dino. Next one is payment of claims.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Counselor Devlin's made the motion, seconded by Counselor West. Any further discussion? Roll call, Counselor West.
Yes.
Counselor Devlin.
Yes.
Supervisor Spiegel.
Yes.
Okay. Now, we've got those two extra ones. I don't know if you want to deal with them tonight or not. The public hearing.
Yeah, I think we're gonna wait, and give everybody time to read these, and then if there's any questions on them at the next meeting, if not, we'll
It's not a
do
problem.
the resolutions, send it to the public
No.
hearing.
No.
That's okay?
The only thing is, you'll probably be, you'll be giving, the public hearing you'll be setting is probably for the new board.
Well, if they have the public hearing in December.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but we're saying.
Oh, yeah, I see what you mean, yeah. If we
Next
do, if we
meeting
wait
is
to do it in
December,
December,
so-
it'll be in January.
that, which is fine, I'm just saying it's,
We can't have the public hearing and then vote on it that night.
no. Yes, you can,
Yes.
but
So
you
we
have to
can
set
set
the
it
public
for
hearing for December, I
December.
think, your next regular
Yeah,
meeting.
if you,
And then
If you
vote
wait
on
till
it
December to
that
set the
night.
public meeting, you'd be in January, is all I'm saying.
Okay, well, why don't we set the public hearing for the next meeting? Because we're gonna have time to read it over anyway, and then we can bring up any issues that we
Yeah.
believe too, if there's any.
let him know if there's any changes, he can make the changes to the draft
Okay, let's do it that
before
way.
the public
And
hearing.
then we'll vote on it at the next meeting.
If you wanted to take care of it this year.
Yes.
That's fine.
Okay, the first one would be well, you put in, who do you want in there as who introduced it, you or the board?
Whoever on the board wants to be the one introducing it, I can't introduce the local
I can,
law.
I'll be the one.
Okay. Whereas the supervisor has introduced town Chazy local law 6 of the year 2013, entitled local law regulating and citing wireless telecommunication facilities, now therefore be hereby resolved that public hearing will be held and set proposed town local law number 6 of the year 2013 on, was it December 8th,
I think so.
or 9th? Yeah. December 9th.
Nine.
At 7 o'clock, town hall, and so on, and resolve that the town clerk be authorized to put it in the press for publication.
Somebody want to make a motion?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Okay, roll call, Counselor West,
Yes.
Counselor Devlin,
Yes.
Supervisor Spiegel,
Yes.
absent Counselor Dino. And the other public hearing, it'd be the same thing, except for it'd be local law number 5, and it's on the amending the Chazy Town Water Company.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Roll call, Counselor West,
Yes.
Counselor Devlin,
Yes.
Supervisor Spiegel.
Want to make a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
I'll second.
Counselor Devlin's made the
Good thing
motion,
you were
second
here.
by Counselor West.
Yeah, and plus, it's good that we got along.
Yeah, really.
Couldn't pass anything tonight, we didn't. All agree.
Wow.
Counselor Dino made the motion, second by Counselor Devlin. Any further discussion? Roll call, Counselor West,
Yes.
Counselor Devlin,
Yes.
Counselor Dino, Supervisor Spiegel.
Yes.
Next one is payment of claims.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Motion made by Counselor Devlin, second by Counselor Dino. Any further discussion? Roll call, Counselor West,
Yes.
Counselor Devlin,
Yes.
Counselor Dino,
Yes.
Supervisor Spiegel.
Yes.
Yes, that's it.
like to make a comment on your water district. We just made our payment, debt payment, that's why that's so high. That was due September 15th.
Makes sense.
Anybody want to make a motion to adjourn?
Aye.
Second.
Counselor West made the motion, second by Counselor Evans. Meeting's adjourned.
Good night.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Night, Sam.
Thank you.